So as far as things for 2024, I guess resolutions, one might say, what we're thinking is, I'm going to just walk you around and kind of show you what we're thinking of that we need to get done. There's some things that are probably hard to see on video that need to be addressed immediately. So I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to show you a couple of those. So when we first bought our cabin, first weekend up here, we realized we had a massive septic problem. And it's waiting till spring. But I wanted to show you guys what we're looking at.
Pull it up, just show and tell.
Yeah.
Pull one side, I'll pull the other.
Yeah, we gotta
Try to
slide
scoot
it.
it.
We gotta slide it.
Yeah, try to scoot it.
What our big problem is our septic is a metal box and it has
Rusting away.
rusted through. So this is going to be our number one first probably major weekend fix that we have to do, and we've kind of already planned out a new drain field and getting a new 1,000-gallon septic tank. So actually what led us to see the problem that we were having was the pipe over here. I don't know that we'll be able to see it, but the pipe under there was actually broke, and we dug up the pipe, and then that led us to the septic problem. So number one fix is going to be a septic and a new drain field. Number two, if we're going on the scale, this is probably bigger but won't be done first, is we have to level up our foundation on our cabin. I don't know if you can tell, but this corner is actually sinking, and they tried to do like some sort of fix here, but it is definitely still about 2 inches lower as everything comes to this this corner. So our bathroom, everything on this corner is sloping. So we've got some hydraulic jacks, our in-laws cabin, and that worked. So that's one of our biggest fixes. We need a new roof. We need to fix a chimney up there that is bob wired together. So that's an issue. Over here we've got a few log issues, but I think our fix to that is we're going to come back in here. Okay, so I think what they're thinking is maybe replacing this with an 8x8, new concrete piers in all the corners, and then get in there and assess kind of what's going on with the middle piers. So we do plan on putting a different a deck and stuff, so we'll be able to replace that with an 8x8 and it probably not be visible. We got to do huge ton of maintenance and chinking and all the things, so there is a lot of scraping and work to do. So I think, and what we're talking about up here too is just taking off this whole upstairs and redoing it, getting some new rafters put in and insulation, and just making that upstairs habitable. So the other idea or thought is to put a front deck on this area where there used to be a front porch at one time and they have removed it. So see the roof on this side? It is. But this is where they kind of spliced it in. There was a door here at one time. And you can kind of see where the porch was. We're thinking taking that out and doing a new porch, new enclosed porch, and maybe a wood room out front with a wraparound deck from the other side. So that's kind of the thoughts. Plans are big. I don't know that we'll accomplish all that, but you know, we got to start chinking away at it and see what we can do. Our other garden up here, we did plant some garlic and stuff in here in the fall. We're going to do a little test garden. I have quite a big garden at my house, and the other girls have pretty substantial gardens at their house. So we're going to do a test garden up here to see what we can get with maybe as little maintenance as possible. So this is an apple tree that needs some serious pruning, but it had quite a harvest of apples on it when we bought the property this year. There's 2 apple trees. There's one here, and there's one kind of down the embankment over there. Get those pruned up, cleaned up, so we can partake in the apple harvest. Over here, underneath the entry, there is just like, I don't even know what this was exactly. Looks like some sort of room or something that was out here. We originally thought it was the front porch that got drug out here, but we were told by the old owner that that is not the case, that this was a little room out here, or a little cabin. So we plan on getting in here, getting all this cleaned up, going through it. Shannon actually came in here and found quite a few antique bottles this late fall, but get all this cleaned up and kind of get this front area cleaned up and a little more aesthetically pleasing from the road. So that is another plan. Our other thing we got to do is we got to get our little outhouse sided. And what we're thinking is, I don't know if you can see it over there. We're thinking we split some of these logs in half and use those as a siding for the outhouse, so it looks antique and not brand new. Looks more like the cabin, more aesthetically pleasing, but we'll see. I don't know if those, we got to get all those boards pulled out of there and make sure they're in good enough shape to actually use. But it is just an outhouse, so they don't have to be perfect. And I'm not going to take you over there right now. It's our 28 acres over here, this area across the road. We're planning on trying to get some of our fruit trees and stuff in that take a little while to establish. It's one of the failures I did in my house that I have now currently, is I waited multiple years to start my fruit trees, and you know, they're just barely starting to produce, so we got to get those in. The other thing we were looking at the garden is like our asparagus and stuff like that takes 2 or 3 years to get going. So we plan on doing a pretty large raised bed garden over there, and that's where our chicken coop and our goat pen and all that's going to be eventually. So let's go over here and we're going to look at the woodshed, and I'll show you what kind of our plan is for the woodshed. This is going to go to whatever's happening here. I think it's an old lilac tree. Maybe we can get it cleaned up enough that we can save the lilacs, but we definitely have some maintenance that needs to happen on that little set of shrub area. Here's the woodshed that was here. This we are going to come in here and revamp this woodshed. I'm not sure what that means exactly, if we're going to rebuild it from the ground up or we're going to be able to reuse some of it. It's just really, really short. I'm 5'4" and I would hit my head on this. So, and then I think the thoughts are to maybe do like a tool shed on the end. So we have a place to put our axes and our shovels and things like that that we need to store. So this is definitely something that is going to be probably number 1 on our list, because it'll be a pretty easy project per se. So, and this wood is not going to make us through winter, so we're going to have to cut some more wood and find some hopefully seasoned wood. Most of this wood was here, except for this tamarack over here that they cut, and we found out that it's really, really, really wet. We thought the tamarack was down for a while, but apparently it wasn't down as long as we thought. So, and then the other thing is the 800 other projects that are tiny and small. cleaning up all the brush piles, from when they did logging. And just like even in the cabin, we need to redo the bathroom. There's a lot of small projects once we get the major projects done that need to happen. So, yeah, that is the gist of our 2024 projects that we think are going to happen. So we'll see. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me on my tour today, and I wish you all a happy new year.